Well, folks, here's my little toaster oven. I tell you, the first one I had in 2005 was so cool. I'll tell you. Now, the one I had in 2005 did not have those flat fenders across. They were rounded. But I love it. These were great cars. About the only thing that changed about this, there was a couple of things. I didn't have a spoiler in the back, and I didn't have these rims. But this is a four-wheel drive. And I'm going to remove that tag on the front there. And this is on here. I don't know how. It kind of bounces around a little bit. But the one thing I have to do is I've got to fix this window molding. I don't know if I've talked about this, but whoever installed the windshield here did not glue this in properly. So I got to go to the windshield place, and I've got to have them redo that. Put a new molding on there. Shouldn't be too much. We can get that done. It should be all right. I'm going to put some new windshield wipers on it. These are all right, but the silicone ones are better. So we'll figure that out. But as I said, the dealership found this thing flawless. They couldn't find anything wrong with it. I thought it was so cool. Now, if you see the little orange dog print there was, this thing actually had a dog package. I may have talked about this. Not something when I bought my first one they had like a camping tent package, but they didn't have the dog package. So, and there's a dog fan in here. Let's get this thing unlocked. Let's get some batteries from a key fob. They're dead. But they had the seat covers on here for the dog package. I'm going to take these seats out anyway if I'm going to do travel in this thing. So, and the seats are easy to come out. And I'll cover that later when I do it. But that plate comes undone right here. You pull a handle and it just comes right on off. Can't remember how these weighed, but they're not really lightweight, but they'll do. But this is that dog fan I talked about. And there's a screw right here I've got to get off. And I think there might be one. No, not one there. Don't know. But it comes off. And I don't know if this thing's battery powered or wired in. We're going to find that out. I've got, hooks for things here when you have nets and stuff. But the cool thing about this is that in my 2005, I did get the 10. I never used it. It had curtains that came with it. We're going to get the window covers cut and done on this. It'll be really cool how we're going to do that. Black these things out. And it'll be like maybe the bed on this side. And then have my refrigerator and some stuff here. And basically, this thing is just going to be a travel vehicle. I'm not going to be sitting in it all day. It'll be a place to stop and you can sleep for the night and do what you want to do. But the cool thing about this thing is that it had really good mats in it, but they catered for the dog. But they were good mats. So for a 14-year-old vehicle, cosmetically, you're not going to get perfection by any stretch. You're going to get little blemishes and things. That doesn't matter. But, those mats right there are amazingly durable. May keep them in there. But the cool thing about this vehicle, if you don't know about it, the Honda Element, is that you can kick this thing up on a curve, like the front end up a little bit, pitch it, and you can run a hose to the back and scrub this thing and clean it out. So, I can run a hose all the way to the back. So, not so sure we're going to keep that in there, that dog mat, but it's pretty cool. But the seats and the mat we'll keep in my shed. We're not going to get rid of that by any stretch. And I'm going to get this thing ready for the road. I think I'm going to take a trip in it this summer. I know I do. I think it would be so cool. Some people don't like them the way they look. Some people do. My brother was like, I don't know why you got this. I don't like the way they look. I said, this is the coolest vehicle I've ever had in my life. And if you've owned a Honda Element, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're really cool. Just the way these doors open is so cool. So we're going to figure it out. Lots of cool things that we can do with this. Now, obviously, if the bed is in here, we're going to have to kick the seat forward. I'm not worried about that. That'll be just fine. So that will be just fine. And as you know, if I didn't take the seats out, these seats could fold down and they go up and they hang on the sides, which is very cool. So if you're wondering, this is the seat. You just pull the bottom loop to undo the leg there. Pull this tab forward. And you lay the seat down, push it forward and pull it up. Push it forward up that way and pull it back out. and it'll come out. I used to do it with them sitting straight up, but oh, I mean, these things are, forgot how heavy these things were. That I forgot. But there's a loop, a hook. It's supposed to hook up on those handles. The seats are supposed to go up. I don't see those hooks. We'll have to look for that on the seats. Now those seat covers might be covering them. These seat covers are just dog covers for some dog package. I believe I'm going to take these seat covers off because they're not on the front seat, but they're in the back. So that will do. Alright, so folks, it got dark on me there. I couldn't really film too much more. And as I'm working on this, you'll see more of it. A lot of you have seen a Honda Element. You've seen the videos, you know. But this will be a cool travel vehicle, and I've got a little work to do. A few things, a checklist I need to do, as I said earlier. I need to take it by the windshield place, get the molding fixed. I'm going to have to put some tires on it. When I drove it home, my brother today went up and helped me drive it back. And when I drove it home, the balancing of the tires worked. The rumble's gone, except there's still a slight rumble, and it's because I'm going to need tires. The back ones are worn. They're kind of worn in a bad way where they're going to cause that stuff. So, I mean, they're close to needing replacing. So the tires on there, I don't like them. I'm going to see what the tire place that I deal with here will do. In fact, if you're in the Charleston, South Carolina area, or you live here, Gerald's Tires, man, that's the tire source to go with, my friends. They've been wonderful. But moving forward, he helped me drive it up, and it drove amazing. Everything is running great. I do need to get a couple more things done. I asked, and there is a rear end fluid because it's a 4-wheel drive. I'm going to get that replaced, and I'm going to get my spark plugs changed and the valves adjusted. So that's a little pricey, but all in all, I'll end up putting a couple $1,000s in the vehicle, and that's understandable, you know. Actually, probably not even that much because I only put $600 into it on this go round, plus that $1,500 in the vehicle. That's all I have to put into it. I mean, like I said on the last video, is that, man, I thought he was going to come back with a litany of stuff, man. And he goes, the technicians can't find anything wrong with it. He said, this thing is in amazing shape. Everything looks great. He said, you got a unicorn. You definitely got that. So, but 176,000 miles on it in 14 years. Divide that out. It's 13,000 miles a year. So, he drove it modestly, nothing major. Loved the dog because you saw all that dog stuff in there. So, I'll get the dog fan out of there, figure that out. And it ain't going to take long. It's not anything intricate, man. It's going to find something that builds that bed. I just measured, though, however, height. The seats were in there only 10 inches high or so, 11 for a reason. So platform about 10 inches high in the bed, so you can sit up in there, and it doesn't need to be that high. It's not that tall. We're not talking about my RV or my van that I built, you know. Big difference here. This is a vehicle we're delivering, but it's going to be a cool travel vehicle. So time to get on YouTube, man, and look at some of these builds and look at some of this stuff. I said the other day that there's this method of maker's pipe or something. I need to go find out what that's all about, you know. There's a way to make a really cool bed frame out of that. But I want something that's going to stay put. It's not going to slide around or anything or make a lot of noise. And we'll figure that out. But anyway, I just wanted to show some pictures and video of it. And I'll keep you posted on it. It's going to be cool. I'm going to take me a trip. I'm thinking of some places I want to go this summer, a couple of trips, and see what we can do over time. Some things to do. I want to use that vehicle for kind of a runaround vehicle and hitting the road with. So, and the cool thing about it is if it didn't work, if it didn't something I really didn't want, we turn around, we'll sell it, and we'll do something else. It's all good, folks. That's what it is. So it's a part of the fun, part of the journey. So anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks. Be good. Bye. All right, so I was showing some videos of the seats in, seats out. The dog fan. It is powered by the cigarette lighter plug. And I knew, I was looking back here going, there's a cigarette lighter plug in the back of this van, this vehicle somewhere. And it's right there. I knew the Element had it. I was like, I wasn't losing my mind. So now we know we got a cigarette lighter plug. This thing was wired to the cigarette lighter plug. It was just a dog fan. And I I don't really need it because I've got fans. I'm going to put these Caframo fans I had in my van. And if you're not familiar with those Caframo fans, go check out my van build videos and I'll show them to you. But you'll see them again because I'll have them in here. I'm going to tell you something cool I've got coming. It'll be here this week, is a Coleman Smart Comfort Cot. It's pretty cool. Camping cot. And I'll put a really good mattress on it from here to the seat up here. There are people having it. It's a perfect fit. And I'm going to get power bank right here. I've got my Energy Apex, but I think I'm going to order a Bluetti AC200 Max. I've been wanting one because the cool thing about that is the inverter, the tons of power that's in it. It's rated so highly, but it's got a enhanced charge brick that adds 500 watts out of your cigarette lighter plug. So you're getting almost 600 watts that charges that while you drive. That way, with what little I'm doing in here, I don't have to put solar panels on the roof. Win-win. Now, if I were building a bigger van, there'd be solar on the roof like I did the last time. But in this case, not needed. Not needing the expansion batteries yet on that 200. If I get a big van, I'll put an expansion battery on it and then have the 900 watt solar coming in, and it has a 30 amp dedicated 12 volt, which I believe if I talk to Chris Fry at Cruise and Comfort Air Conditioning, Chris Fry will tell me that Cruise and Comfort will run off of it in that 30 amp. But not 100% sure on that. But that's not right now at this moment. Right now, this Honda Element is where we're at. So this is a little dog fan. As I told you, this dog fan was like a factory package. So there's screw holes there. I don't care about that. This thing's 14 years old. They screwed it in, put it in the cigarette lighter pocket. I was thinking this thing was hardwired in or was battery powered. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm gonna plug this thing and see how powerful this fan is, because I don't know, it might be some use for it somewhere. I doubt it. It ain't gonna be any better than those Caframo fans that I got. I promise you, those things are killer. I've got one, and I'm gonna get another, and I'm gonna get some really cool airflow in here. And just use the car's AC to cool it down and let the fans do the rest. When it gets to be at night, when you're staying in some places, it's pretty cool. So I will fill you in as I get the things done. I've got a really cool rod that's set for divider curtains or blackout. They're going to be between the seats and the back. It's going to be cool. So that's on the way. I think Saturday it'll be in. So we'll see how that goes. And we get the bed in here. It's going to be perfect. Once we get that bed in here and everything's set into motion, everything else falls into place beautifully. Going to have some window covers. I think I'm going to get some from the Heat Shield company instead of WeatherTech, because I'll make them for this vehicle. And then I can, I don't know if I mentioned in my 2005 Element, they were curtains that hung on the handles and came across and hooked on to here. You had little curtains. You got a hook up here, and it came all the way around to the back. I can put curtains on this thing too. They can cover them if I want to do it. So I know how they were the last time. I know how I can make them this time. So it'll be cool. It'll be stealthy and cool and be a really cool travel vehicle. So stay tuned, my friends. All right, so first of all, I guess I hope you guys are well. I'm well, to a certain degree, doing pretty good. And trying to figure out things what I'm going to do for a bed platform for those Elements. If I get that, everything else is going to fall into place. But I'm thinking I'm going to have things up under to store things, and to the right of me or the left of me, so to speak, because I think I'm going to be on the passenger side. It's so much easier to get in and out of that way. I ordered this Coleman Comfort Smart Cot, way too big. I don't know what size. She said the cot was 69 inches on that YouTube video that I watched. But this one here is 74 inches. Like, there's no way that's going to work. And I'm not, that front seat stays put. We're going to do this with the front seats in so everything looks normal. The key is you want to be stealth, looks normal. You park somewhere. In the distance, they see a car. They don't see me in there. That's the thing, you know. And I can stay pretty much anywhere the hell I want, you know. I do know that I can get mattress pads. I've had one. They had the foldable ones, and the one I've got I can put on top. I can sleep it on the floor, and it'd be perfect. I can have that set up, and then everything to my left. Be a little crowded if I don't have at least 12 inches and have everything up under and have that kind of set up like that. I want to do something. I mean, I'm okay if I built something temporary. I just don't want to do that. And another idea I had was Milk crates are really cool. Get about 10 of those. That would be real cool. Get them strapped together and put everything on top, and you're golden. You can just tuck stuff up under. The thing about the milk crates, you're kind of limited to storage in little cubbies, not just sliding everything on there that you want to do. I don't really know. I don't know where to go, but I'm going to figure it out. Trust me, I will figure it out. Now, one thing for power, I've got my Energy Apex. Love that thing, and I may just use that for a while. But the Bluetti, which might be a correction on the pronunciation of when I say Bluetti. A lot of people are saying they're pronouncing it Bluetti. I don't know. I like Bluetti, so I'm going to stick to that. So be it. Spelling's the same, the company's the same, it's all there, it's all good. But their AC200 Max is such a cool unit, it has everything you need on it. It's a lot of power. I think it's like 180 amp hours, and then if you put the expansion battery on it, I can't remember which number it is, but you can get 462 amp hours in that thing. Put some serious, it takes 900 watts of solar maximum. But here's the cool thing, why I like the Bluetti, is that I like it because the cigarette lighter plug, I can get a charge enhancer brick that puts 500 watts extra on it. So I get almost 600 watts of charging while I'm driving the car, and I don't have to put solar panels on the roof. I don't have to do that this time. Don't want to. Let the car charge, it'll be great. So, I can do it. But anyway, I'm racking my brain on that. So now I've got to send back this damn comfort cot, whatever this is. So another funny thing is I said, okay, cool, we'll get these blackout curtains on Amazon. Had the little thin rod and had these little hooks, which are kind of cool. It slipped. They could have slipped to the top parts on the back edge where the little molding piece is between the roof, and it was really cool. You just would slip right out. That's all great, but now I pull the curtains out. It looks like some, mind you, made in China. That was probably backwards, but I don't know. Backwards for me might not be for you, but anyway, it looked like two skirts, hanging. And I said, "Whoa, these things have got to be at least 48 inches high. These things were like 22. They got to be at least 59, 60 inches wide." So this going back, but I have thought about keeping this the rod and then doing the other. But I'm thinking of some other things because I was going to do Velcro all of the sides and across the top, but I don't want to stick Velcro on the ceiling up on that. I don't know, if it doesn't work, it's just going to tear it up, and I don't want to do that. So I like the curtain rod. It's okay if I have some come across, because in a distance, there's no light. You're not going to see. You just don't want to see through. You know what I see? I'll have covers on my windows, but that didn't work. So that's going back too. So this is the trial and error of things that you have on Amazon. Now, I did order some blackout curtains for my van, which are so cool, but I'd have to get those cut and sewn and altered, so to speak, to use them in the element. They were awesome blackout curtains, black in the front and white in the back for the van. They had these hoops that, I could just cut those things off. And the old guy that sews, that guy could help me do this. I could pay him a little money to get those things, cut and sewn for me. I think it would be cool. Which gives me the option, maybe let's keep this and use that for that, but I don't know if this rod is strong enough to handle that. Might be okay. My thought was getting the curtains to overlap. Now, another thing is to get like a flat bar piece that comes across it solid and have them hook, where you can Velcro it to that bar, and I can come, like I did in the van, overlap the curtains, because I don't want them coming open where you see a sliver of light. You want them to overlap, so it's just solid light. They work perfect in the van. You never saw light one at all. You never did. It was perfect. It's just pulling that off with this. It's going to be interesting, so we'll figure that out. There's a way. I can do the snap fit buttons like I did again and stick them together. Doesn't have to be Velcro on that, but Velcro on top of the little flat bar. So I'm thinking about, the little, somehow figuring out the piece by metal and trying to get that hook. But there again, you got to have that hook that's safe that goes on there and it hooks each side and it'll stay put. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But I get those two. I get the bed platform going. Everything else is going to fall into place. But I'm racking my brain on YouTube right now, trying to, I've seen some interesting ideas, some pretty cool ideas, and we'll figure it out. I know I will. It's one thing at a time. We're going to get it done. So let's see what we can do, folks. Let's do. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.